Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of your sources and try to help you extract the most important nuggets of knowledge.
Great.
And today,
Yeah.
we're going to be diving into the mystery of the urban wage premium.
Oh, okay.
You know that phenomenon where city dwellers just seem to rake in the big bucks?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not just about city life being more expensive.
Right.
Even after accounting for the higher cost of living,
Yeah.
people in cities still earn significantly more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to get to the bottom of this, we're taking a deep dive into a 1994 research paper titled Cities and Skills.
Okay.
Now, I know it's a bit academic,
Mm-hmm.
but stick with us because the findings are surprisingly relevant even today.
Yeah, the paper's core finding is that wages in large cities,
Okay.
those with populations over 500,000, are a whopping 32% higher on average
Wow.
than in rural areas.
Okay.
And that's even after adjusting for factors like education experience and race.
So it's not just that more educated people flock to cities.
Right.
There's something else going on.
Exactly. It's not just a selection effect.
32%.
Yeah,
That's a pretty significant difference.
it is.
So what are the potential explanations for this urban wage premium?
Well, the researchers laid out three main theories.
Okay.
One is the city boost theory, which suggests that cities simply make workers more productive. I
Okay.
think better infrastructure, access to resources, and the benefits of being surrounded by a lot of other skilled people.
Yeah.
So it's almost like getting a level up bonus just for living in a city.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Like left time commuting means more time working, for example.
exactly.
What about the other theories?
So another possibility is what's called the omitted ability theory.
Okay.
This one proposes that city dwellers might just have inherent talents or a stronger drive for success that's drawing them to the energy and opportunity of urban life.
Mm-hmm.
So in this scenario, they would be earning more regardless of where they lived.
So it's not the city itself,
Right.
but the kind of people that it attracts.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where this is going. So the final theory is the learning and coordination theory.
Exactly. This one's particularly fascinating
Sure.
because it suggests that cities act as skill accelerators.
Right.
So imagine it as a continuous growth effect.
Okay.
The longer you're exposed to the city's unique environment,
Yeah.
the faster your skills develop and the more your earning potential increases.
So it's not just an instant boost like the city boost theory,
Right.
but rather like a long-term investment in your future earnings.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And the researchers used data from two large-scale long-term surveys,
Got it.
the panel study of income dynamics and the National Longitudinal Survey of Youth,
Got it.
both of which tracked individuals for several years, collecting data on their wages, education, work experience, and even where they lived.
So they could actually track how people's wages changed when they moved to or from a city.
Yeah.
That's a pretty powerful data set.
Powerful data.
What did they find?
Well, initially, their findings seemed to lean towards the omitted ability theory. When they controlled for individual fixed effects, meaning they compared the same person's wage before and after moving to a city, the immediate urban wage premium shrank to just 3%.
Hold on, 3%.
Yeah,
But you said the overall difference was 32%?
right.
So is it just a matter of certain types of people being attracted to cities and not actually the city itself causing the wage difference?
That's what it seems like at first.
Okay.
But things took an interesting turn when the researchers looked at what happened to people who moved.
Well, what happened when people move?
Both those who moved cities and those who moved away saw their wages increase by about 10% shortly after relocating.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
If cities make you more productive,
Uh-huh.
why would people moving away get a raise?
Yeah,
Shouldn't their wages decrease if they're leaving that boost behind?
that's a great question.
And if it were simply about the city boost, those moving to cities should have seen a much larger jump than just 3%.
Right.
Clearly, there's more to the story than just an immediate boost from being in the city or the types of people that it attracts.
Yeah, it seems like there's something else going on that's
Yeah.
driving this long-term wage growth
Okay,
in cities.
interesting.
Yeah.
So if it's not just the immediate environment
Mhm.
or the inherent abilities of the people,
Right.
what's actually driving this long-term wage growth in cities?
Well, that's where the learning and coordination theory really shines.
Okay.
The researchers dug deeper to understand what specific mechanisms within this theory might be at play.
Okay.
They focused on two potential explanations,
Okay.
the learning hypothesis and the coordination hypothesis.
Okay, let's break those down. So
So-
the learning hypothesis suggests that cities provide more opportunities for just general skill development,
Exactly.
right?
It's about constant exposure to diverse experiences and new ideas.
Yeah.
The fast pace of work might force you to adapt and pick up new skills quickly. All of this could lead to a faster acceleration of your learning curve
Right.
and ultimately boost your earning potential over time.
So it's not about learning specific skills for a particular job,
Right.
but rather developing a broader skill set and adaptability that makes you more valuable in any field.
That's the idea.
Right.
Think of it as a constant stream of mini mentorships, problem-solving challenges, and new perspectives
Yeah.
that you simply wouldn't encounter as frequently in a smaller, more homogeneous environment.
And what about the coordination hypothesis? How does
Yeah.
that fit into this?
So the coordination hypothesis centers on the idea that urban labor markets are simply better at matching workers with the right jobs.
Okay.
The sheer volume and diversity of industries in a city create a more dynamic and specialized job market, increasing the chances of finding a role that truly aligns with your skills and interests. And when you're in a job that you're well suited for,
Yeah.
your productivity and consequently your wages tend to be higher.
It's like a giant, constantly evolving job fair
Yeah.
where employers and highly skilled workers are continuously finding each other.
Exactly.
So how did the researchers determine which of these hypotheses played a larger role in the urban wage premium?
Well, they looked at the impact of adding job quality variables to their analysis.
Yeah.
These included things like job tenure and the average level of education within someone's occupational group.
So if the coordination hypothesis was the primary driver,
Yeah.
then controlling for these job quality factors should diminish the effect of living in the city, right?
Exactly.
If it's all about finding the perfect match, then the city itself wouldn't matter as much once you've accounted for job characteristics.
Right.
Right.
But here's the interesting part. Even after controlling for job quality,
Okay.
the interaction between urban living and experience remains strong.
So that city effect persisted,
Yeah.
suggesting that there's something more to it
Right.
than just finding the right job.
Exactly.
So it seems like cities are doing more than just connecting people with the right jobs. They're actually nurturing grounds for faster skill development,
Yeah.
regardless of your specific job.
That's the key takeaway here.
Okay.
The learning hypothesis seems to be a more dominant force in explaining the long-term urban wage premium.
Got it.
Cities appear to cultivate an environment that just inherently fosters faster skill development.
Yeah.
But the question remains,
What's that?
how exactly does this happen?
Right.
What are the specific ingredients that make cities such effective learning labs?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
If we know that cities accelerate learning,
Uh-huh.
understanding those specific elements of urban life that contribute to this effect
Right.
could have a significant impact on individual career choices, urban planning, and even economic policy.
Yeah, absolutely.
What can we learn from this research?
I think this research raises some really interesting questions for individuals and policymakers alike.
Yeah.
For starters, it suggests that simply attracting talented people to cities isn't enough. We need to go deeper and understand what aspects of the urban environment promote learning and skill development,
Right.
and then tailor policies to amplify those factors.
So it's about creating the right conditions for individual success, not just hoping it will happen organically.
Precisely.
Right.
We need to think about things like access to high-quality education and training programs, creating opportunities for collaboration and knowledge sharing between industries, and fostering a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation.
And what about individuals?
Yeah.
How can they use this research to make informed decisions about their careers and where they choose to live?
Well, I think this research highlights the long-term value of living in a city, especially early in your career. It's not just about the immediate salary bump, but about setting yourself up for accelerated growth and learning.
Right.
That will pay dividends for years to come.
Yeah.
It's an investment in your future earnings potential.
I like that. Of course, everyone's circumstances are different, and there are trade-offs to consider.
Sure.
But this research provides valuable food for thought
Yeah,
when making decisions about where to live and work.
absolutely.
It's not just about the excitement and opportunities of city life.
Right.
It's about consciously choosing an environment that will push you to grow and develop your skills.
Yeah.
So what can someone who is thinking about moving to a city or is already living in one do to maximize this city learning potential? So we've established that cities can be incredible learning environments, accelerating skill development, and boosting earning potential. But the million-dollar question is, what are the specific factors that make them so effective?
That's the real challenge, isn't it? It's
Oh,
like we've cracked one code only to find another layer of encryption underneath.
yeah.
So while this research points to cities as these skill accelerators,
Mhm.
it doesn't give us like a detailed blueprint of how those gears turn.
Right. It's like having the answer without knowing the formula.
Right. Exactly.
But that's also what makes this so fascinating.
Yeah.
It opens up a whole new line of inquiry.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on what makes cities such fertile ground for learning?
Well, one key factor is likely the sheer density and diversity of people and industries.
Yeah.
You find in urban environments, in a city, you're constantly bumping up against different perspectives, ideas, and ways of doing things.
Mhm.
And this constant exposure can challenge your assumptions, broaden your horizons, and force you to adapt and learn quickly.
It's like a 247 immersion course in collaboration and problem solving just by living your everyday life.
Exactly.
Right.
And this diversity goes beyond just the people.
Yeah.
Cities are also hubs of innovation with a constant churn of new businesses, technologies, and trends.
Mm.
This creates a dynamic environment where learning new skills and adapting to change becomes almost a necessity.
It's like a giant petri dish for experimentation, where the most adaptable and innovative ideas rise to the top.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
What else contributes to this city learning effect?
Another crucial element is the abundance of learning opportunities, both formal and informal.
Right.
Cities are home to world-class universities, research institutions, and specialized training programs. But the learning doesn't stop there.
Right.
It spills out into cafes, co-working spaces, networking events, and even just casual conversations with people in your field.
It's almost as if the entire city transforms into a massive, interconnected university.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And don't underestimate the impact of city culture and social interactions.
Right.
Cities often foster a more open, tolerant, and intellectually curious atmosphere.
Yeah.
This can create a sense of community that encourages people to take risks, experiment, and learn from their failures.
It's like a collective growth mindset where everyone is encouraged to push their boundaries and embrace new challenges. But cities also have their downsides, right?
Of course, cities can be stressful, competitive, and expensive.
For sure.
But this research suggests that the potential rewards in terms of skill development and earning potential can often outweigh those challenges.
So it's a calculated risk, but one that can yield significant returns for those who are willing to put in the work and embrace the unique learning environment that cities offer.
Precisely.
Okay.
But here's another thought-provoking angle.
Okay.
Even within a city, there are likely micro-environments
Yeah.
that foster learning more effectively than others.
Yeah.
Certain neighborhoods, industries, or social circles might cultivate a stronger learning culture than others.
So it's not just about being in a city,
Right.
but about finding the right niche within that city
Exact.
to maximize your learning potential.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And this raises some fascinating questions for future research.
Like what?
How can we identify those learning hotspots within cities?
Right.
How can we design urban spaces and policies that maximize these learning effects, making them accessible to everyone, not just a select few?
It's a challenge that spans disciplines, from economics and urban planning to sociology and psychology.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's complex, but definitely worth exploring further.
It is.
So I think on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into this fascinating world of cities and wages.
Yeah, this has been great.
I hope you've enjoyed exploring these ideas with us.
Me too.
I think we uncovered some surprising insights, challenged conventional wisdom, and hopefully sparked your curiosity to delve deeper into this topic.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation.
Right.
I encourage you to continue exploring these ideas, asking your own questions, and perhaps even contributing to the growing body of knowledge on this fascinating subject.
Yeah, keep learning, everybody.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep learning.